What is an unusual accomplishment that you take pride in? I got the Iron Bladder achievement in Rock Band 2. It required completing the endless set list, all of the game's 80 songs in one sitting. No pausing. No fails. I did it on expert drums. I had a proficient friend to do expert guitar at the same time. Did it first time. Just required a little planning for the two of us to get a toilet break in each. And some careful saving of star power to revive the other in case the other got beaten down by one or two hard sections. I bought my first house at 70. Moved from Manhattan to a very tiny town in PA where it's very peaceful. Some muggos around, but they are not the more rabid muggos. I finally have a backyard where I can do some gardening and grow peppers and tomatoes. And all sorts of other goodies. It's just me and my cat, but I'm happy and I think he's happy too. I don't drink A&Y alcohol, not a single drop for more than a year now. I've never been an alcoholic or anything. I just wanted to be healthier and drunk people were starting to annoy the hell out of me. I have family and friends that drink non-stop, and I'm proud of myself for excluding that specific vice from my life. Myself with bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder and trying to identify my areas of weakness and triggers that I'm able to process my emotions now in my late 30s than my entire life. This has significantly helped me with dating and friendships. In a big screen TV 90s style box, and when my dumb roommates got the cops in the place for other reasons, they ended up writing the report on top of the TV. After looking for plants for a long time, one dumbass had left a small cutting in the room. The other sold drugs. I designed a nice box though. I used to be an N in a mid-sized city. At the time of me leaving for another job, I had been dispatched to more genital bleeds than any other Ent. Definitely not the coolest record to hold as an N, but I am proud of it. I checked on that record about a year ago. As of then, I still held the record. It's silly, but 2 weekends ago, I was playing beer pong with some friends. During the first game, both sides were down to the last cup. I told everyone this is where I win us the game, and sunk it into the cup. That was easily the smoothest thing I ever done in my life. I'm a sewer. Sewing stuff makes me feel good. I sew all by hand. It took me a few months. But I now have very straight, consistent, small stitches, usually 1-3 millimeters per stitch, depending on what's needed. About 0.039 inch to 0.11 inch for Americans. I was going to be attacked by 2 soldiers in bodysuits as a self-defense demonstration. I overheard one say to the other, "I don't know about this. She looks really aggressive." I'm 5'm with an athletic build. Best compliment ever. That I was an exotic dancer. Now, calm down. I'm not so much proud of the action as I am the fact that I have done so many different things in my life. I have so many stories to tell, and have had some crazy experiences. Had a vasectomy after 3 kids that I won in a raffle for a baseball team fundraiser. If that's not accomplishment enough. I had it reversed 12 years later, and have since produced 2 more kids. Snip, snap, snip, snap. I've successfully corralled about 300 people with a lot of help around a big role-playing campaign in World of Warcraft that lasted 2 weeks. Yes, it was very stressful, but we did it. Not unusual, but something I never thought I would be able to do. I have lost 70 pounds. I still have a very long way to go to be healthy, but it has already been life-changing. I can get to the last stage in time crisis to earn 1 credit. If we're at the bar, my friends make me swap teams each credit because it's not fair to keep me on one side. I was the first scare at a haunted woods experience, and several times I was so good that a person or persons would refuse to go any further along the attraction. I feel like this is my answer to every question about being proud lately. But yet again, separating entirely from my dysfunctional family and making it on my own. I escaped a cult that I grew up in my early 20s. Obviously, there's been a lot of work and therapy since then, but life just kinda feels like a bonus now. Back when I was a kid, I could finish most arcade side-scrolling beat-em-ups like Armored Warriors, Warriors of Fate, or Knights of the Round with one token. Quitting smoking. It's like someone being proud for having stopped hitting themselves. But it was hard and I did it, and I'm 2 years smoke-free today, yeah. On to separate occasions I have correctly guessed a female friend was pregnant based on their boobs looking bigger. In one case, I knew before she did. I was the first person to ever check out a book at my high school's library, and I was on the very first page of my high school's very first yearbook. Having given shelter to many types of animals in my house such as opossums, birds among others, either temporarily or permanently. I have a weekly DD session with 3 others that has been going for over a year now, only missing a few sessions over that period. I pushed my last baby out in 8 minutes. Pushing a baby out isn't the weird part, but doing it in under 10 minutes is. The fact that I'm still here despite a constant struggle with life and being on antidepressants that I don't think work. All the Halo games solo legendary, and using my BIC pens all the way to empty. I keep their hollowed bodies as trophies. I can tie and untie shoelaces with just my toes. I have successfully tripped more than once with this footsie trick. Put all my kids through private schools, wish they were not so different to regular schools, but they are, so I paid. My mum was divorced 3 times when I was growing up. I've been married for 47 years so far to my wife. I win. I can kind of socialize now, all right. Definitely couldn't before. It takes a lot of working energy, but I can. Being charming enough that I was approached, chatted up, asked out, and sexed up by a cute girl at a party. Broke my bed with a chick I met on IRC doing her doggy. I was 22 and it was glorious for a nerd like me. I was granted a patent a little over a month ago. Took a lot of time and effort. I'm really proud of it. Every time I have to make a phone call, I have to psych myself up and write down what I need to say. I work for a large nationwide bank. I was hired as a temp and am now an assistant vice president. Was the top one Tetris player in my state for exactly 1 day. Still felt like an eternity though. I once had the guy who played Hoda hold a door open for me. He was a great door holder. I've got 5 kids and they are all happy when I come home. Makes me feel pretty great. I played fantasy football for 2 years and won the league championship each year. I ran 100 quests of a 6-year Dungeons & Dragons campaign while I was in college. The fact that I'm solely double-jointed in my left pinky finger and my tongue. I was awarded Microsoft MVP. It's rewarding sharing with the data community. 35 and my socks never came out unpaired out of the washing machine. I got my certifications A1 A8 before I got my driver's license. I can catch flies in my hand and put them outside. No swatter needed. I correctly predicted the entire top 20 order to the 2021 Turkish GP. Stayed in close touch with my oldest friends. 11 years and counting. Got my black belt in Tokyo from the Grand Master of my martial arts. I am a licensed skydiver, but I am inactive now, too expensive. I finished 3 chapsticks in a row without losing them. Learning all the different types of stellar spectral classes. I can plug in a USB drive on the first try almost every time. Being a good elder sister that my sister calls me mother. Didn't get killed in the war despite several close calls. I take pride that my username is not guess for 9 for 8.